Welcome back to Business Undercurrent, where we explore the stories behind the biggest business wins and catastrophic failures. Today, we're diving into one of the most dramatic financial roller coasters in American entertainment history. Six Flags was once the crown jewel of regional theme parks, a massive $3.5 billion empire at its peak. But the company that started with a visionary founder's dream became a textbook case of how debt, overexpansion, and poor strategic decisions can bring down even the biggest players. This is the story of how Six Flags learned the hard way that sometimes bigger isn't always better. And the lessons here apply far beyond the theme park industry, as we're about to uncover how a dream turned into a debt-fueled nightmare. Let's rewind to 1961, when a man named Angus Wynne Jr. had a revolutionary vision. He wasn't just building another carnival. He was creating America's first modern-themed amusement park. On August 1, 1961, Six Flags Over Texas opened its gates in Arlington, brought to life by a staggering $10 million investment from Wynne. That's about $100 million in today's money. The park's unique theme celebrated the six nations that had historically governed Texas, offering guests more than just rides, but a story. It was an immediate success, becoming a regional phenomenon by delivering on a simple but powerful vision: provide high-quality thrills at accessible prices. This approach democratized entertainment for families and created a blueprint for what would eventually become a national empire, a blueprint that would later be stretched to its breaking point. So how did that visionary beginning turn into a financial storm cloud? Fast forward to April 1998, when a company called Premier Parks made a massive $1.9 billion bet, acquiring Six Flags and assuming nearly $900 million of its existing debt. Their philosophy was simple and aggressive: bigger is better. This kicked off a relentless acquisition spree, where Premier Parks bought up smaller parks across North America and Europe and simply slapped the Six Flags brand on them, prioritizing scale over substance. But this rapid growth was fueled by borrowed money, and by 2008, the total debt had ballooned to an unsustainable $2.37 billion. This mountain of leverage was a ticking time bomb, and the 2008 financial crisis would be the trigger that pulled the entire structure down. The aggressive, debt-fueled expansion strategy led to an inevitable crash. In June 2009, the music finally stopped, and Six Flags was forced to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. This was the perfect storm: $2.37 billion in debt colliding with the 2008 financial crisis and the Great Recession. The restructuring was brutal, with $1.8 billion in debt being written off and lenders gaining 92% control of the company in exchange for forgiving the debt. But here's the fascinating paradox. Throughout this entire corporate meltdown, the parks never closed. The rides kept running and visitors kept coming, proving the problem was never the parks themselves. It was always the balance sheet. After emerging from bankruptcy, Six Flags faced a new challenge, and in November 2021, a new CEO introduced a radical new strategy called premiumization. The idea was that by raising prices, they could reduce crowds, create a better guest experience, and ultimately make more money. Following this logic, season pass prices soared by 25% in 2022. The result was a catastrophic failure. Attendance plummeted by a staggering 33% in just 1 year, and the company actually made less money than before. By November 2022, facing a massive shareholder revolt, the strategy was completely abandoned, serving as a stark reminder that you can't abandon your brand's core identity and expect customers to follow. The premiumization backfire left Six Flags in a vulnerable position, making it clear they couldn't go it alone. In June 2023, the company announced a massive merger with its longtime rival, Cedar Fair, creating a theme park titan with 41 parks. However, this new combined entity started its life with a staggering $5.2 billion debt load, a massive financial overhang that continues to challenge the new company. Now, activist investors, including Jaina Partners and even NFL star Travis Kelce, are pushing for significant operational changes. The strategy is being reset to focus on the fundamentals: balanced pricing, an improved guest experience, and aggressive debt reduction. We're even seeing a reinvestment in its iconic partnerships, like the new Looney Tunes land opening at Six Flags Magic Mountain in 2026, signaling a return to what made the park special in the first place. So, what are the key lessons we can learn from Six Flags? Wild ride. Lessons that apply to every business builder. First, debt-fueled expansion without sustainable profitability is a ticking time bomb. Second, abandoning your core brand identity for the sake of financial engineering almost always backfires, because customers will vote with their feet. Third, scale only works when the underlying unit economics are sound, otherwise you're just scaling your losses. Another crucial lesson is that strategic pivots require a deep understanding of your customer, not just spreadsheet logic. And finally, even the most iconic brands can be destroyed by poor capital allocation decisions. The great paradox of Six Flags is that the core business was never truly broken. The problem was always the financial structure and strategic missteps at the top.